welcome back to CNC Equipment's YouTube channel. We got something a little bit different today, don't we?
Yep.
We're working on the Ford Highboy. We've been busy working on dozer transmissions and dozers and all kinds of stuff, so we're kind of taking a little break. It's a long holiday weekend here, so Hunter has a what year?
77.
1977 Ford Highboy. This actually come from my uncle. He picked it up. It's originally a Wyoming truck, so there's some paperwork and stuff in there to support that, but spent most of its life in Wyoming. It's looking like it's all original paint. It's a pretty clean truck. It's got its dents and dings from being a ranch truck, but it's pretty clean overall and pretty much rust-free. So what are we doing to it today, Hunter?
Well, today we're probably going to check compression.
Check some compression. So you've had this truck for about a year, haven't you?
Just haven't touched it yet.
It's kind of we've drove it a few times. We got some things we want to do to it. I know Hunter's goal is to keep it pretty much
Factory.
original factory looking. So if you guys don't know, 77.5 was the last year for the Highboy. They kind of come from, I think, 67 to 77.5. But what that term factory Highboy means, they kind of sit up higher. They got that nickname. But what Ford did back in the day, four-wheel drive trucks wasn't that popular. And they basically just kept the same two-wheel drive truck chassis, and they put a divorce transfer case on that. So you might see later in this video, we get up in the air, I'll show you that. But what a divorce transfer case means, just like it sounds, it's separated from a transmission, has a little short shaft in it. So their thing was they could still take a two-wheel drive truck chassis, just throw that divorce transfer case on it, and put a front axle under it and call it four-wheel drive. The reason they had to kind of lift it up a little bit higher is for that big long drive shaft to clear underneath all that stuff. So you guys might be able to kind of see it hanging down low there, but that's that telltale sign of a factory Highboy with that big old long front drive shaft, and the transfer case is way back there. But 77.5 was the last year for him. This truck has the 351 modified in it.
Yeah.
It's not the most, I guess, sought after engine, you might say. What's this truck got on it? 70,000 miles?
Something like that.
Pretty sure that was the original. So let's go ahead and pop the hood up on this thing. My uncle did a little bit of work this thing, new carburetor, some other stuff. The thing drives like new. If you guys been around these trucks, they never drove the best, but this thing drives nice. But after we got it, just a little bit after getting it, it developed a pretty good miss, like a couple cylinders are misfiring on it. So, but I'll give you guys a peek in the inside. Of course, it's got the Millennial anti-theft device. You know what that is?
What is it?
The Millennial anti-theft device.
Shifter knob?
That 4-speed manual transmission. It's got that left pedal, third pedal in there. But yeah, she's a pretty clean old truck. Now it's got its dents and dings from hauling elk and moose and all that stuff that they do out west, right?
You'll have that.
Let's pop the hood on it, take a peek. Another telltale sign on these factory Ford Highboys is these big old front locking hubs on that. So that's something else we're going to take a...
Got rocks
like
coming
may
out.
have a squirrel in there.
Or something, yeah.
Something else we're going to take a peek at is the axles and brakes. We're probably going to pull those hubs apart and repack those. I know those things are kind of hard to come by. So there she is in all her glory, big 351. It's got new distributor plug wires and stuff like that on it. This thing does not carry very much oil pressure either when it gets warm, does it? She's like down to the bottom side of the normal, right at the the caution zone. We've actually not put a real gauge on it, but these things are notorious for not carrying much oil pressure and get hot. But what we're going to do, I suspect, Uncle's put a new carburetor and stuff on it, but she's got a pretty bad miss. So first thing we're going to do is check some compression on here and see what the overall status of this engine is. So, and if it's not looking too good, we may have some plans for it, don't we?
So far.
We'll see. Let's get a compression tester out and get some spark plugs pulled out here. All right, so we're under the hood here. We've got a couple cylinders pulled already. Compression's not looking real good, is it? I've got a little diagram wrote up here. So he's done cylinder, what I'm calling cylinder number 1 and 2. He's on number 3 right now. Got 100 psi on that first one, 106 on the second one. What we're using is just a screw-in compression gauge from Napa, but it's not looking good so far. It's kind of what I was expecting. So if you don't know, these 351 modifieds are in the same family as the 400 and the 460 big block and 429. That's what they call the 385 series. So the 351 modifieds and 400 just wasn't well known for reliability and power or anything else. So if this truck 76 or older would have had a 360 in it. Those are pretty good old motors, 360s, 390s. But 77 was the first year for this 400, or 351, sorry. And they run that up to, the early 80s, 82 or 3 in the trucks. And then they kind of phased out and started putting the Windsors, which are a small block based on like the 302. So, but these are basically what they call a big block. Do you know what the good thing is, Hunter?
What's that?
A 460 bolts right up to that transmission.
That's
The
right.
Same bolt pattern. And I might know a guy who has one, but you want to go crank the truck over and we'll see what happens here. Crank her over a few turns. So we got the coil wire pulled so it won't start up. Keep going a little bit more. All right. See what you got.
I'm gonna say it's not
She
good.
jumped around. She's down around that 100 mark. Go ahead and grab her and we'll get a picture over here. Oh, 100 and she's on the back side of 110. I'll call that 109. It's getting better, but not quite good enough. So those are pretty low compression numbers. Of course, it still runs. A good engine, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. A good engine should be in that 135, 140 range. Should be a decent, healthy engine. I know anything that gets down under 190 pounds is getting pretty weak. So I'm gonna write this down here. And another thing we might do when we get over here, we're gonna go ahead and check the rest of these. We'll put a little bit of oil into the cylinder, and that's gonna tell us if the compression comes up. It's gonna tell us we got some worn piston rings, because that oil will help seal up those piston rings for a little bit. So, all right, we've got some numbers, kind of all over the place. So we got 100, 106, 109, 110. We got 110 over here in this bank, 106. We got 119, which is the highest, than 112. So on this one here that was at 110, we put some oil in the cylinder and it bumped it up to 121 pounds. So we got some worn rings a little bit. But bad thing is that one cylinder is way off. We got a couple. When they're more than 10%, I've been told, it's not good. So that's fairly low compression. These motors wasn't super high compression motors, but a good healthy motor I think should be in that 130 pound range or so on this kind of era of motor, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure there's some gearheads out there that can tell me more, but I'm a diesel mechanic. What are you?
That's right. I don't know what I am.
What you're doing.
I'm here for the ride.
So Hunter's convinced he wants to put a 460 in this thing, but we're trying to keep it original too. So I don't think a 460 is going to hurt the value to it too much. We're keeping it original because it does bolt up and everything's going to look like it dropped in there. I know we're going to do a few things this later on. You're wanting to keep the stock wheels. We're going to repaint those, straighten the bumper up, maybe undercoat it, go through the axle and all that stuff. But what are we doing now? It's your project, bud.
I guess yanking her out.
You're yanking the motor out. Okay. No guts, no glory. So, I guess we're yanking her out. Turned out perfectly good original Highboy. So, we got a 460 at home in the warehouse, don't we? What'd it come out of?
Somebody's
My
super
shop,
truck.
My shop truck. You guys been watching my videos for a little while. You know that my blue shop truck used to be silver. It used to have a 460 in it. And it ran perfectly good too.
I mean,
I'll put a little clip in up here right before it got yanked out of the truck.
yeah.
So as you can see, they did a pretty good burnout.
It did
It
something
literally
there.
did a burnout back there, got drove in the shop here, and yanked out. That's the last time it run. So, but it's a 95 EFI motor. I know you want to go back to fuel injection, but we're not going to use the 90s fuel injection. We kind of been talking this over if this thing was not up to par. Like I said, this thing starts running rough. Once it gets warm, it stumbles and missing out. It was just fine when we first got it, and then we drove it a couple times. It started missing out, and ever since then, it's had a little issue. So I know Uncle, he's put new plugs, wires, and coil and distributor, carburetor, been through all that stuff, but I believe we've got a couple weak cylinders there, especially, and this motor's hot when we started. You can kind of notice our numbers kind of went up as she cooled down too. So, but anyway, yeah, I think we've kind of been throwing some numbers around. Going to build like a kind of a mild 460, but you want to go back fuel injection. We may do a Holly Sniper fuel injection on it. Just wanting something reliable and safe. You can go out and hits the key, it's going to start and get them back home. So, what do you think?
I guess we better start pulling apart.
Well, if we're doing that, we might as well take the hood off. And I suppose when you got this motor out, you're probably going to clean this whole. You got a big project on your hands.
Yeah, at least we got room to work.
I would say we get this motor out, and then we need to get the other motor at home and get it stripped down and see what got to working with. So that motor had 75,000 miles on it, so it had like, I don't know, 100,000 kilometers or something on it. It was a Canadian truck.
Yeah.
But, so we won't be able to use the heads on that motor. We're probably going to use some Ford Cobra Jet heads or something like that. So
That's right.
I don't know.
It's gonna look sweet.
It's going to get expensive.
Yeah.
Mom's not going to be happy. Here you
Oh,
thought you was getting a paycheck.
Yeah, I know.
Now you're going to be in the piggy bank jail again.
Mm-hmm.
Working for free. Anyway, we're going to get started on tearing this thing down if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what.
Point of no return, bud. I say we keep this motor on a pallet so you've got a completely original setup and make it nice. The 460 is going to look all original, don't get me wrong. So, but I don't think it's going to hurt the resale value of the truck. And 460s are well-known, good motors. Just a lot more stuff out there for them. These just wasn't known as a super great motor. Now you can go through them. There's a few things you can do to them and whatnot, but I think we need to start with a little better foundation. So we're gonna keep that original 4-speed transmission. That 460 should bolt right up to it. So, all right, let's get after it. All right, so we're gonna start by taking the grill out. I actually had one of these trucks. So you go back in my videos, probably around 2012, I don't know, 2013 or so, when I first started doing just walk around YouTube videos. I actually had a 77 Ford crew cab that was a 2-wheel drive short bed. I bought it and put it on a 2008 Dodge Ram chassis, but since sold that thing a long time ago. But this is actually the grill that was off that 77 Ford I had. It's in a little bit better shape than this one. It's all original grill. The black and stuff's around the lights good and everything. So that being said, we brought it over. We're gonna go ahead and yank the grill out of this. Me and Hunter's talking, we'll take the hood off, yank the grill off since it's gonna get replaced anyway with a little bit better one. You guys gonna see the black's kind of missing. Now we could paint that up and touch it up, but we got another nice factory one there. So, and then I think we'll just start working our way in. I think we may leave the fenders on it, but Hunter's planning on painting the frame, undercoating. It's all real clean and rust free and everything. We get it up in the air later on. We'll show you guys that, but it's just never been cleaned up in its life. We got some big old Mountain Rough Rider shocks on here, bud.
That's right.
I've never seen those. Those are probably collector's items. But yeah, she's clean everywhere. There's no rust or anything. Used to have some undercoating on it. It's coming off, but we want to keep her looking nice for a lot of years. We're missing one piece of trim here. Anybody's got anything, you might hit us up. Piece of trim that wraps around the back of the cab, but it's the only thing I see missing on it. So, all right, let's get after it. Nothing like a clean, rust-free Wyoming truck. I'll use my head here.
Not my head.
Okay. Get her?
Got it.
Okay, that's back when they made bumpers right there.
Ow. All you, bub.
One grill. So we taking the whole front end off, bud?
I mean, we might as well.
You just decided to go for it all, huh? I got dum-dum glue in there.
It does, bub.
Let's watch your doors and stuff back here. There you go. Now where are you gonna put those at?
I don't know. Well, I'll set it on the table.
So I guess, Hunter, we're taking the whole core support out. We lost a fender shim down there.
Gotcha.
See why these trucks last so long? That's actually galvanized inner fender. The bed's galvanized on these things. We've not broke a single bolt or had any issues, anything coming out yet, have we?
I wouldn't say nothing.
No, I shouldn't have said that, should I?
I mean, you did break the spark plug.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, this thing is like spotless. You guys seen these trucks, you know that cab corner rusts out on them. And it's a very, very clean truck. For sure. You're going all in now.
We can't do anything about it.
I guess you take it all, get everything painted, and at least she'll be all nice and pretty up here. So, you get the other fender off, and then we'll just start. I guess we can take the, oh yeah, not much
Easy
on
there,
that on.
bub.
We'll get the other fender off. We don't have to worry about anything getting scratched or tore up. He can paint these inner fenders separately, get the frame all nice and clean. We'll get it all painted up before we put a new engine in it one day. Watch the paint back here. There you go. Looks like brand new under there, don't it?
That's right.
Show you guys the inside of this fender. It is spotless. It's got some Wyoming dirt on it. Original writing from somebody back in '77.
And pine trees.
Pretty cool. Are you set this off?
Mm-hmm.
You got it? Careful with your light bulbs. Another piece of the puzzle. Nine 16ths and half. You won't listen to your daddy, will you? You need a 9/16.
Hey, bub. Hey, bub.
I was telling Hunter it's nice to
Hey,
work
bub.
on.
Got it.
It's nice to work on a truck or vehicle for once that has all American sizes. Got it?
Yep.
One inner fender. There you go. That'd be a lot better and get a better job. I noticed this seam sealer is starting to crack and go bad here, so he'll probably dig all it out and we'll re-seam seal that. Maybe repaint the firewall back the original colors. But that's an important joint right there to get sealed up. You see this here, Hunter?
What is it?
That seam sealer's cracked up.
Uh-huh.
We probably should dig that out and replace it. And we could paint the firewall back the factory color too. I assume you like the brown.
I like it.
Unless you're wanting to paint the whole inside a different color. I don't know what you're doing. Not my truck.
That's right.
And we jinxed ourselves by saying we've not broke any bolts. I broke one off in the alternator, but we know what happens when you run a steel bolt and aluminum alternator. Breaks. I just need to get the wires off here. So we're going to get this side off, and we're getting close to pulling the motor out. Gotta do some lines. I'm not sure. We might be able to pull the transmission out with the motor all in one whack, because that transfer case I said is divorced, so we might be easier just to undo the little short jack shaft in between there, pull that whole unit out as assembly, then we can take a little peek at the transmission. I don't know. What are you thinking? We can leave it in there. I know it's got a little bit of oil on it, so
Probably take a peek at it.
we'll figure it out when we get there. All right, we got the rest of those fenders off. Hunter's got our 4-post column lifts under here. We're going to pick it up in a bit, but see, we're in the interior a little bit. I was pointing out to Hunter and you guys earlier about that seam. That is that seam right through there on the outside. It's actually got water that come through this morning. We had a little bit of rain, so that's why it's important to redo those seams. We're getting water in there so we don't have any rust. So what we're doing now, I guess we're pulling the transmission out in with the engine, so we got to get this cover off so we can get the top of that shifter off there. So somebody's been in there before. We got some different color bolts in there, so I think somebody's put some new floor mat in it also at one point. Floorboards look really good,
Yeah, I do.
like they should. Let me get that cover off, then we can pull that top off that transmission there, Hunter.
Okay.
All right, get that off there. It's a puzzle piece, bub.
I'm not very good with puzzles.
Yeah. She's tight. She's a tight one. All right, got the old foam up here to keep her quiet. We'll pull that off. And get to some bolts and unbolt the shifter top. All right, a little better look at the transmission. There's our little short shaft. It's gonna be pretty easy to take it apart here. I'll take the transfer case shifter off, but we'll take these bolts out after a bit. Hunter's taking the put it in a gear for you. How's that?
Perfect.
Take the drive shaft loose. We may not needed the lift. I didn't realize we could do it all from up here.
Well, when you got the
This
classic.
is back when they made things easy to work on. I don't know why we don't have engineers anymore. Can't keep nothing simple.
Well,
Transmission's leaking a little. It's definitely could come out and use a reseal and clean up.
I like it well lubricated.
Yep, but she ain't gonna rust. I think that's what they call a new process 435. Looks small compared to what we're working on. That Dodge transmission was twice that size.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll get after it. We'll get this cover unbolted. We'll bring you guys back in here. All right, got the drive shaft off. We got to take the transfer case bolt off. Probably do that from down below. You ready to yank this off?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, eating cheese?
No.
I think we may be hitting the engine compartment area. There she comes. Go out this way. One shifter. That is dirty. Plastic shift fork still on there. Alright. Whoa, horsey. Don't go too far.
You did, what?
Whoa, horsey. You never heard that?
Oh, you say it to
horsey?
me all the time.
Alright. We up plenty high, aren't we?
Easy there, Hunter. You owed it.
Did you lock the locks before you got underneath of it?
That well's got me carried
Did you
away.
lock the locks?
You
Hit the green, hit the button. Now it's gonna be too low. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Safety
Sorry.
first.
Back again with your welds.
I know you can weld. Oh, look at all those stringers up there. Oh, it's a hairy monster, bud. It'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
That might be why your Uncle Mike, or my Uncle Mike, your great Uncle Mike, gave us a new.
What's this about?
Oh, what's farmer stuff right there? Lag bolt. He put new
That'll be
exhaust
all right.
from there back.
It'll be all right.
Should be fine. So here's our divorce transfer case. Hold that light up there. It's a divorce transfer case. This was a short shaft to come off the transmission. See how they got that slid way back farther?
Gotcha.
We've got that big long. So when we did that, we had to raise it up so the drive shaft will clear the cross member and everything. So it's an easy way for Ford to take a two-wheel drive truck off the assembly line and turn it into four-wheel drive real quick.
That's right.
Let's look under this thing. We've not looked under it real good. I mean, we've crawled under it, but definitely in pretty good shape. She's been undercoated once. That's good. Needs done again, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
That transmission was definitely leaking. Was it leaking on the floor at home?
I know of.
She's a leaker. She needs resealed, so we're doing the right thing, pulling it all out. Transfer case doesn't look like it's got some oil coming out of it.
Oh.
She's a leaker too. It may be on a project for another day.
This whole thing's a project.
We can only do so many projects. Yeah, we got to check the brakes and hubs and all that stuff. So, and the nice thing about this truck, it doesn't have the super low gears, and it's got like the 354. So a lot of the high boys had the 410. So we should be fine with that 4-speed. Nobody's gonna ask, but let's get the bolts out of it. We need 1 1/8 inch, so we're gonna do this transfer case shifter. Exhaust pipes, we'll probably just cut the exhaust off because it's nothing special, is it? Look, it goes up over that cross member. That's kind of different. You know, the newer OBSs we work on, they got one big one up here. Interesting, interesting. I like it.
Okay.
Got it!
Whew, it'll get a little warm.
Don't hit your cab up there.
Well, bub. When you got this, you see how long that is?
Yeah, it's a wood blade too.
Yeah, well.
It's not the right thing.
We're only so legit around here. I'm telling you, it cut just fine over there. Ow.
Ow. What are we doing here? You undoing this slag bolt that some rancher put in from Wyoming, or?
I can cut her.
It looks like you can unbolt that, and we can take this slag bolt out, or you can cut it right here.
Where are you going to cut it?
Cut this bracket loose right here. Look at that. And we can unbolt it with the 9/16 right back here. All right, we're getting close. Hunter's got rear cross member loose. Got one more bolt left in the motor mount up there. Had to take the dipstick tube out. I see this starter might be in the way too, Hunter. I bet it is. We'll have to take it out too. It's gonna hit that when it comes out, I'm guessing. We'll go ahead and take it out, and then we're about ready to drop her back down and get this dude out of here. And I think you got her.
A death wobble.
Yeah, that looks scary.
That starter's about to fall off.
Why is my Harbor Freight impact on the floor covered in oil?
We might have an issue.
Oh.
Whoops.
Yeah. Starter's still on there. I think the starter won.
Yeah, not for long.
I'll get a jack stand up under his transmission here. Beating it like a stepchild there, bud.
That's right. That's how you get it done.
Has that got a direction to it? Left or right, or
I'm sure it does.
does it say anywhere? I'm gonna go back on the camera and watch it. Looks like it's the narrow truck's got an arrow that points forward on them. You have to remember the big part goes forward.
Big part forward, bub.
Yeah, everybody remember that for you.
Yep, I already forgot about it.
I figured. It's probably gonna be a while before it goes back together.
Yeah.
Now, I think I can drop this down. Let it set on that cross member. And then we can drop this truck back on the ground and pull one motor out maybe. Coming down, coming down. What are you gonna do about my Harbor Freight impact you left here on the floor for dead?
You might as well just leave it there.
Huh? Kevin wouldn't be happy you treating his tools like that. There actually can be anybody's tools we're giving away. We'll get.
You're not getting this replaced.
No, we'll get new tools replaced. You guys don't know we're giving a whole toolbox away full of Harbor Freight tools. We're kind of doing a test on them for 1 year, kind of a review, seeing how they hold up and stuff. So we'll definitely let you guys know in the comments. I'll do a 6-month follow-up video. We're pretty quick, so we've had them for about 6 months, but so far they're not bad.
Yeah.
Just to, except for that one.
That's the first.
We've had a couple of hiccups, but we'll explain that later on in another video, so stay tuned for that. If you guys want to enter that contest to win, it doesn't cost you anything. There's a link to the video, or link to that video in the description below, so you can go enter to win. All right, Hunter says it's time to stab it out, don't you?
That's right.
We're gonna get this out and call it a day here for today. We gotta go to the hobby shop and get some RC truck parts. Grave digger broke down.
Yeah. Well, when you can't drive anything right.
Grave digger's awesome, you know it.
Oh,
Kevin's even jealous.
You just don't know how to drive it.
A grave digger broke a front axle. You know what they told me? I had a 2-year warranty, so we're gonna go find out.
Disappointing.
Me and warranties don't do very well, so.
Do you want another bolt in?
No, we'll just hook that one up in it. We're gonna junkyard style this thing out, so. Come on up a little more. Yep. Come on, back up a little bit. Whoa. Go up a little bit more. Go up a little bit. Whoa. Reverse. All right, hold on. Reverse. Go down a little bit. Go up a little bit. Whoa. Reverse. Go up a little. Up a little bit.
Oh, up.
Okay, let me look over here. Yep, reverse. What you got going on back here, bud? Did you just back yourself in a hole?
We're getting a little close.
You just backed yourself in a hole.
Just back the truck up. Start the truck up.
Ah, sure. Go on up. You can get out of there. You just gotta know how to drive a forklift.
Which I don't.
Now, cut her hard over this way. You got her. Keep going. Hang on, let me move this lift. Keep her cut hard. Look at that. Come right out of there, didn't it? You tilt your forks back. Straight ahead. There she is, 1351 modified.
Where are you thinking of putting this?
I don't know. Probably right there for now.
It's hanging right there.
Yeah, shut it off. Take a peek at your grease bomb here. You get some dirt down in there. We'll take that apart and clean it. This is your first and reverse gear.
The tranny ain't very long.
It's a little tranny, ain't it? We're used to rebuilding big trannies. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? The gears look good and stuff. This first and reverse is not synchronized. Remember I told you have to stop before we put it in first? It's in pretty good shape. Those are the ones that get tore up. People don't stop and they grind them.
People just grind gears.
Grind gears. All right. That's about enough for today. What do you think?
I think that's pretty productive.
Pretty productive. I think we're going to get out of here. It's Saturday. And we're going to go to the hobby shop for the clothes. So that's what we do. Yeah, there's where some of that water, that's an antifreeze that seeped down there. It was leaking through right there in that joint. That joint definitely needs redone. That's a good thing. I think it's a good thing we pulled those inner fenders and stuff out. Do it right. Truck deserves it. You repaint tomorrow, what color are you thinking? You going back factory color, or are you going to...
Yeah, I do factory.
Do the inside of the... You could paint the inner fenders and stuff that same color too.
Mm-hmm.
Right there's the cab tag. That transmission, we seen it was stamped 76, so 77.5 is the last year. Is all the good stuff for the truck, chassis, but engine not so much. But we're gonna fix that.
That's right. They even put mountain riders on there. They're blown out a little bit.
Mountain riders are about done for, as you guys can see right there. Rubber's seen better days. Those was probably put on out in Wyoming. I know those tires was, because we've got a receipt for those from Gillette, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Put on a few years ago, so. All right, so I think we're gonna bring that 460 over in the morning with the shop truck, bring back its own drivetrain, its old drivetrain.
That's right.
The transmission's still hooked to it. We'll bring the whole thing back, get it off here. We'll tear that motor down tomorrow and see if it needs machine work or not. It did run good and everything. I don't know. We'll just take a peek at it and see. We're basically just going to use the short block assembly, so we'll tear into that tomorrow. All right, good morning. We're at my other warehouse. We got to get a Jeep body and a motor. Uncle Scott needs a Jeep body. Is that the motor?
That's behind all the
Way back there, behind all these Jeep bodies that's stacked in here. Oh, it's gonna be a mess. You guys don't know, we sell Jeep bodies from 41 to 86. I've got quite a few at the shop. This is a secondary warehouse I got over here. Oh my Hunter, it's way up there.
Can you get from the other side?
Oh my Hunter. Look how many.
Just put the 4BT in it, bub.
I got a 4BT Cummins. You already got one of those? How many Jeep bodies is in a way? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, about 20 something. Boy, we'll have to figure this out. Am I missing those lights up there?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, there's one 460 big block loaded up. We'll get her over to the shop and take a peek at her. All right, made her back to the shop. We got the other engine. We're gonna yank this transmission off here first so we can get use of our fork truck. You ready?
Yep.
We got the bolts out. Grab a hold of her like a man.
A sweet palette.
It is. You picked the best pallet ever. May have to get a little pry bar. Oh, you're getting it. Wiggle jiggle. Got a couple dowels. Oh, we're gonna have to help you.
Palette.
Is that the best pallet we could find?
That's right.
Give me a pry bar over here. No, you gave me the screwdriver.
That's right.
You got a dowel over here.
This one's popped off.
There you go. Now give her the wiggle jiggle. I think I know why the transmission may have been pulled out recently. Pull her on back. Got a new clutch in there. That's why it had new bolts there in the floorboard.
Yeah.
That is not very old at all. All right. Move that one out of the way and get the other one off the truck. All right, we got the 0460 in there. If you guys don't know, that come out of my blue shop truck. It's sitting right outside. And this is all because of you, is that right? Last summer, if you guys were watching our videos, we started building a ultimate OBS short bed shorty truck. You guys seen the shorty truck we got cut in half. We was gonna take that Power Stroke and drop in it. Hunter's been trying, we've been trying to buy a truck like this or this truck for a couple years. They're just hard to find. You guys seen how clean this one was. Then as soon as we got started on that project, Uncle come by, decided to sell that truck. So that's what changed gears on all that. So we already had that motor build underway, so we had to put it in something. So I had that truck for sale. I ended up pulling it off the lot, fixing it all up. That's what went into all that. So that's why we pulled the 460 out, because we had to do something to build Power Stroke. Now we're building a 460.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a wrap for this video. It's getting kind of long. We're going to leave you guys in suspense of what we're doing with this thing next. So if you guys want to see more of this action, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. We'll have a video coming out on tearing this thing down and building it up here in another week or so. And yeah, there'll be plenty more videos probably coming on this truck. I think we may make a playlist on this truck.
Is that right?
What are we naming it? Hunter's Highboy?
Cool playlist.
Cool playlist. Hunter's Ford Highboy. We'll probably name it something like that. So the next videos, we'll have that link down below in the description. So we appreciate everybody watching. We really do appreciate it. If you liked what you've seen today, give us that big thumbs up. It helps us out a lot and lets YouTube know we're doing our job. So anything else?
That's it, I think.
You tell them bye? We'll see you guys next time.
Quiet.
Awkward silence.
I don't talk.